Hello, good evening. It's Natasha N.K.O on the 19th of June 26, and it's 2020. Continuing to read on from Sam Selvon's The Lonely Londoners. Last read where Moses, the protagonist, has met up with Galahad at Waterloo to show him the ropes and to show him around. He's let him sleep over at his place, and then he's taken him to the employment exchange to go and see about work and getting fixed up. So I'll repeat the last few lines and then I'll continue on. You think I will get to work? Galahad asked. Sure. When you come back to report, tell them you will take anything for the time being, and now we better go and see the landlord about the room. When Moses did arrive fresh in London, he looked around for a place where he wouldn't have to spend much money, where he could get plenty food, and where he could meet the boys and coast the old talk to pass the time away. For this city powerfully lonely when you're on your own. It had such a place, a hostel, and you could say that in a way most of the boys graduate from there before they branch off on their own and begin to live in London. This place had some genuine fellows who really study in profession, but it also had fellas who was only marking time and waiting to see what tomorrow would bring. It had a big dining room, and you had was to buy a meal ticket before you could get any food, while some of the boys soon get in with the servant girls and get meal tickets free. Sometimes in the evening, some fellas coming in, watching in the queue to see if they see a friend who will buy them a meal. Then afterwards in the lounge they will sit around, the genuine fellas with textbooks in their hands, and some fellas with the worker, and big discussion on politics and thing would start up, especially with them who come from British Guiana and don't want federation in the West Indies, saying that they belong to the continent of South America and don't want to belittle themselves with the small islands. Meanwhile, an African fellow would be playing the piano. He would give you a classic by Chopin, then a calypso, then one of them funny African tune. It had a game them Africans used to play with a calabash shell and some seeds, and nobody but an African could understand it. And all the time, 2, 3 of them sitting by a table playing this game. In another room had a ping-pong table, and they used to play knockout, and some sharp games used to play though. In another room had a billiards table. Them was the old days, long before tests like Galahad hit London. But that don't mean to say it didn't have characters. There was a fellow named Captain. Captain was Nigerian. His father sent him to London to study law, but Captain went stupid when he arrived in a big city. He started to spend money wild on woman and cigarette. He not fussy about drink. And before long the old man stopped sending allowance. Cap had a green striped suit and a pair of suede shoes, and he lived in them for some years. He used to wash the clothes every night before he go to sleep, and when he get up, press them so that though he wearing the same things, they're always fairly clean. If he have money, he would get up in the morning. If not, he would sleep all day, for to get up would mean hustling a meal. So all day long he stay there in bed, not really sleeping, but closing his eyes in a kind of squint. Come evening, Cap get up, go in the bathroom and look to see if anybody leave an end of soap for him to bath with. Come back, press the clothes and put them on. Comb hair, blow the nose in the sink and gargle loud. Watch himself in the mirror and then come down the stairs to the dining room, wiping his face with a clean white handkerchief. The old Cap have the sort of voice that would melt butter in winter, and he does speak like a gentleman. So the thing is, after he sponged on all the fellas he know for meals, he used to look around for newcomers and put on a soft tone and a hard luck story. It have some men in this world and they don't do nothing at all, and you feel that they were dead from starvation, but day after day you meeting them and they looking hale. Hale. They're laughing and they're talking as if they have $1 million. And in truth it look as if they would not only live longer than you, but they were dead happier. Cap was a man like that. Cap had plenty work, but he only stay a few days at any of them. And though he never had money in his pocket, yet he would be there with the boys, having a finger in everything. Cap only smoking Benson and Hedges. If you offer him a woods, he would scorn you. If he managed to hustle a pound, he eat in a big meal. belching, buying a pack of B&H, and he ready to face the world. Come a time when the warden of the hostel tired hearing Cap talk about the allowance that come in and never come, and tell him he have to leave. As luck would have it, Cap was staying in the same room with Moses, and he tell Moses not to say anything, but he would go out during the day and sneak back in the room to sleep in the night. One morning the warden gets suspicious, and he begin to make a round looking for Cap. And when he come to Moses' room, the old Cap gets so frightened that he start to rattle. He fly out the bed and went down on his knees before Moses, clasping his hands as if saying his prayers. Don't say that I am here, he begged Moses. I will get in trouble. And he went and hid in the clothes closet. The warden opened the door and looked around and asked Moses if anybody else in the room, but he said no. Captain come out after and start to shake Moses' hand and thank him. You will have to go, Moses say. But though he threatened the captain often, Cap still hanging out in Moses' room in the hostel. To make things worse, he started getting up in the night and saying that he see a white pigeon flying over his head. It ain't have no pigeon in here, Moses say. But I tell you I saw it, Cap drawing back under the blankets. It must be the spirit of my father from Nigeria. Another night, Cap waked Moses up. Believe me, I saw an angel with a harp playing over your head, he told Moses. Listen, Moses say, the next time you see that angel playing a something harp over my head, you don't say or do anything. I like harp music and it come to inspire me. One time, Cap make £100. One time, Cat make £100. He hear that some English fellas who want car used to get Africans to buy them, saying they're leaving the country. In that way, they would get away from a big set of purchase tax. Then the African would use the car a bit and sell it to the fella who financed the venture as second-hand car. The Cap get in this racket and make £100, but it went through his hands so quick that the morning he wake up broke, he was surprised. Things reached a head at the hostel and he had to pull out. Cat walked out as if he was going for a stroll with a toothbrush in his pocket. Brazen as ever, he went to a hotel and put on a soft tone, explaining he was a student and expected his allowance any day. Cat face so innocent that the clerk started calling him Mister and hustled to get him a room. No cheap room, one of the best, and Cap insisting on the ground floor too. One thing with Cap, he loved woman too bad. He is one of them fellas who would do anything to get a woman. And it ain't have a night that he not coasting down the Bayswater Road or drifting round by the circus. In fact, all the odd money that he need he get from women that he pick up here and there about the place. So what he doing is sleep in the day and go out in the night to look for Cat and sponge a meal whenever he could. Well, of course, the hotel people begin to get uneasy when 2 weeks go by and Cap's allowance ain't come, and they tell him he will have to leave. So Cap went out for a walk and didn't come back. In the water, he hardly have a place where he ain't do the same thing. From boarding house to hotel, from room to room, he had to widen the area for a time. One day you would hear he live in Caledonia. Another time he moved to Clapham Common. Next time you see him, he live in Shepherd's Bush. Week after week, as landlord and landlady catch up with him, the captain moving, the wandering Nigerian, man of mystery. Nobody could contact Cap. It's only by chance you're bouncing him up here and there about London. Where you living now, Cap? A kind of baby smile and Victoria. Ah, Moses tell Galahad when he was giving him ballad about Cap. It's fellas like that who muddy the water for a lot of us. You see how it is? One worthless fella go around making bad and giving a wrong impression for all the rest. Cap had an Austrian girl who was a sharp dresser, all kind of fur coat in the winter, and in the summer some kind of dress that making fellas whistle and turn around. As long as Cap had a place to take she, where have a bed to relax, this Austrian was all right. And for Cap, he used to take she round by all the fellas he know when he ain't have no place to stay himself. There's kind of life going on, and the Austrian trying she best to make Cap look for work. Why don't you get a job, she tell Cap. There are many jobs around and all your friends are working. Jobs are hard to get, Cap say, cagey. It's not as easy as you think. I've tried many times. On one of those many times, the employment exchange sent Cap to a railway to get a storekeeping work for £7. When Cap go, the fella in charge look at him and say, yes, it have a work, but it's not storekeeping work, and the pay is 6.10. What kind of work is it, Cap say? At this stage in his acquaintance with the boys, he does forget proper English, and many times you would mistake him for a West Indian, he gets so H-E-P. The fella take Cap to the back of the station, and behind there, real grim. The people who live in London don't really know how behind them railway station does be so desolate and discouraging. It like another world. All Cap seeing is railway line and big junk of iron all about the yard, and some thick heavy cable lying around. It have some snow on the ground, and the old fog at home as usual. It looked like hell, and Cap back away when he see it. They tell me the pay was £7, Cap say, backing back. They made a mistake, the fella say. Do you think you could shift that piece of cable? Take it easy, Cap say. Go and have a try, the fella urge. Take it easy, Cap say. I will think about it and let you know. When he meet Moses, he tell him how they was threatening him with this work in the railway. It's so it is, Moses say. They send you for a storekeeper work and they want to put you in a yard to lift heavy iron. They think that is all we good for, and this time they're keeping all the soft clerical jobs for them white fellas. Cap evade work so much that the Austrians start to get vexed with him. How is it, she tell Cap, that Moses has a job and manages on his salary? Why can't you get a job at the factory where he works? She nagged Cap so much that at last Cap went to see Moses. He come back and tell the girl, yes, he got a night work, same as Moses, and he would be starting right away. In the night, the Austrian come to the tube station with Moses and the Cap, and she buy a platform ticket and went down the platform with them, and she kissed Cap and wished him luck, and Cap and Moses get on the train and went. When the train reached Notting Hill Gate, Cap get off and went to hustle woman as usual. He do that for a week, and the Austrian pleased that he working so hard. When Friday comes, she asked Cap how much pay he get. This is a place, Cap say, where they don't pay you the first week that you work. The second week, Cap carry on as usual, catching a tube in the water and hopping off at the gate. When the week over, Cap tell the girl that he left the work because it too hard. How it is that it have women, no matter how bad a man is, they will still hold on to him and love him. Though the Austrian find out what Cap was doing, she still stay with him. In fact, when things hard, she start pawning wristwatch, ring, coat, shoes and anything to get a penny, and she giving Cap all the money. Cap used to send she round by a fella named Daniel to borrow, and she would go there and cry big water and say how things hard, and the old Daniel who can't bear to see a woman cry would lend she £5-6. When Daniel sees she later and asks for the money, she says she give Cap to give him. When he asked Cap, Cap say he give the Austrian to give him. One time Cap was in a thing with two women. One was a German and the other was English. He borrowed £8 from the Fraulein, and as time went by and she can't see him at all, she sent the Chelsea police after him. Now Cap have a genuine fear of the law, though he might be the most shiftless and laziest fellow in London. One thing is that he never in any trouble with the law, so when the Chelsea police take after him, he was frightened like hell. Same time, he was in another thing with the English one. She spent some time in Africa, and she know a lot of the boys from there. When she was in London, she had a big work with a respectable firm, and she always travelling light. Toothbrush and toothpaste and soap and towel and night things in a small travelling bag. And after work, she go around by one of the fellas she know. Well, Cap get in with this thing, and when a German closed in on him, he take a wristwatch off the English girl and pawn it and pay the Fraulein the £8. One night, Cap take the English round by Daniel, and soon after that, Daniel was carrying the girl to ballet and theatre and cinema. The English was smart. Cap not taking her anywhere or spending any money, while this Daniel take her she to all the latest shows. Tea House of the August Moon and Sadler's Wells, and to restaurants in the Circus and in Soho. So the outcome was that she left Cap and began to go with Daniel. One night she told Daniel how Cap takes your wristwatch and didn't give it back. What? Daniel say, feeling like a knight rescuing a damsel in distress. We have to do something about that. He and the girl went to Earl's Court, which part Cap had a room at the time. When Daniel asked the landlady for Cap, she says she don't know where he is, that he went away owing £10 rent. Somewhere in London, Cap heard a rumour that Daniel looking for him, so he went to Daniel's house one night where he meet the English girl. Cap, Daniel say, how you could do a thing like this, man? You take the girl wristwatch and pawn it. You have to go get it back for she right away. Cap see he can't get out of the situation, no how. So he start to abuse the English girl, calling she all kind of whore and prostitute, saying how could she go with Daniel? And with that, he went away not to see Daniel again until the matter was forgotten. One powerful winter, Cap was shivering with cold, and the sight touched Moses' heart. He lent Cap a camel hair coat. When spring come, Moses looking all about for Cap to get back the coat. But he can't see Cap nowhere. Truth is, it always happen. That Cap see him first and hop off the bus or tube and run to hide. At last, Moses run him to earth in Marble Arch one evening. Hey, you bitch, Moses say. I looking for you all about. Where my coat? I ain't have it, Moses. Cap say in a baby voice. You best has get it for me, Moses say, or I set the police after you. I ain't fooling, man. At mention of police, Cap turned white, which is a hell of a thing to see. And the next day, he passed round by Moses' house and dropped the coat. And yet, when things get real desperate with Cap, it's Moses' self who helping him out. The Austrian used to complain to him about Cap. All day he's sleeping. I do not know what to do. Moses said, listen, I telling you, that man no good for you. He is a worthless fellow who won't do no work. He will sleep with you and then look for somebody else to sleep with 2 minutes after. Why you don't leave him? The Austrian ups and went back and tell Captain all what Moses say, and he and Cap had a big quarrel about it. But still Moses had compassion on him. Round about that time, the captain's trousers started to give way under the stress and strain of the seasons, and it was Moses who gave him an old pair of pants. Moses couldn't help. Every time he going out with a Cap walking a little bit in front and asking him, see if my backside is showing, boy, this pair of trousers wearing thin. And he look and see that Cap really in a bad way, and the soft heart was touched once more. So Cap get a pair of corduroys, and the Austrian girl give him a black blazer jacket. One night, something happened with Cap, and Moses nearly go mad laughing when he found out afterwards, because at the time he didn't know nothing. He and Cap used to coast Bayswater Road from the arch to the gate nearly every night. Well, it had one woman used to be hustling there, dressed up nice, wearing fur coat, and every time when the boys passed, she's saying bonjour in a hoarse voice, and the boys answering politely bonjour and walking on. But on this particular night, things were scarce on the patrol, and the old Cap first bad. So Moses told him, why don't broach this big woman who always telling them bonjour? Cap broach and he take the woman down by Gloucester Road, and he was so hurry he couldn't wait but was to begin as soon as she turned off the lights in the room. Couple of nights after, they was talking to some women near a pub when one of them turned to Captain and say, it was you who slept with that man the other night. And when the mark burst, Moses get to understand that this bonjour woman And when the mark burst, Moses get to understand that this bonjour woman was really a test who used to dress up like a woman and patrol the area. Moses start one set of laughing, and the old Cap laughed too. He told Moses he didn't know anything until he began. Yeah, he told Moses he didn't know anything until he began, when he found the going difficult and realised that something wrong. Since that time, all the boys greeting Captain bonjour. Who can tell what was the vat that it hit Cap and make him get married? A man like he won't have nothing, no clothes, no work, no house to live in, no place to go. Yet it's so things does happen in life. You work things out in your own mind to a kind of pattern, in a sort of sequence, and one day, bam, something happened to throw everything out of gear. What you expect to happen never happened. What you don't expect to happen always happen, and you have to start thinking all over again. Cap was a fella like that. A fella that you never know what he will be doing, which part he will be, what he will say. If you hear that Cap is Prime Minister of England, don't be surprised. If you hear that Cap killed 4 or 5 people in a circus, don't be surprised. If you hear that Cap joined the order of the monks and go to Tibet to meditate, be unconcerned. Cap had a friend in Brighton who had a garage business. He was friending with a French girl. The French girl went back to France and tells his sister how things rosy in Britain, and the sister come and Cap get in with she. This number was a sharp thing, and Cap liked it more than a regular Austrian. He tell Frenchie how the garage business not doing so well this time, so he give her the impression that he had part ownership in his friend business, and that he would be leaving it and taking up a post with the Nigerian government. He told the girl it's a better job, and she believed every word he say, partly because his face so innocent, and partly because she can't understand English so well. So thinking they would soon be off to Nigeria, the girl decided to marry Cap. She went to a vicar and gave 3 weeks' notice, and when the time come, Cap went, wearing the corduroy trousers and the black blazer jacket and the suede shoes, which were still carrying him around. Them suede shoes, the makers would pay Cap a lot of money if they could get him to advertise how long they last him. Without a cent in the world, no prospects, nothing at all, Cap went to say, I do. When the vicar say they have to have a witness, Cap ran out on the road and was lucky to see an African fella passing. He explained the position and the fella said, all right, but after the ceremony, when the vicar told the fella that he had to sign a book, the test shake his head. I'm not signing anything, he say. I come to witness, and I witness, but I'm not signing anything. Or the vicar explained to the test that it was necessary for the witness to sign the registry. The fellow decided that he'd not put in his name to any paper and he went away. Good thing the vicar wife was in and she said she would witness. Cap, not having any address at the time, gave Frenchy Daniel address and left the girl, saying he had some business to attend to. That evening, when Daniel come home from work, the landlord meet him by the door and say, your wife has come. My wife, Daniel say, standing up stupid. Yes, she's waiting for you in your room. When Daniel hear that, he fly up the steps to see who it was. He see Frenchie sitting there with all her luggage, waiting on the captain. She managed to explain to Daniel what she was doing there, and now Daniel in a quandary. He don't know which part to find the captain. At last he had to leave the girl and go to look, and he decided to try an all-night cafe in the gate where Cap does always hang out, coasting lime over a cuppa or a cup of coffee, sitting there eyeing every woman trying to make contact. As luck would have it, he spot the old Cap having a cuppa, sitting down on the stool like if he have all the time in the world, and not a worry on his mind. Cap, Daniel say, what the hell is this? Your wife home by me, man, with all she luggage. Good Lord, Cap murmur, sipping tea and wiping his face with a clean white handkerchief. Good Lord. Don't just sit there and say, good Lord, man. Do something. Look, Daniel, this is the way it is. And Cap say how we have no place to take the wife. But Christ, man, why you get married if you have no place to live? Good Lord, Cap murmur. Now Cap gambling on Daniel first. So when I go back to the room, Cap encouraging conversation and getting Frenchie to talk familiar with Daniel. And sure enough, the old Daniel had the kettle on to make a cup of tea. So the night wearing on, and Cap ain't making no move to move. He only sitting down there wondering how to get out of the mood he find himself in. As for Frenchie, she puzzled that Cap only sitting there wouldn't get up. Cap put on the soft tone and asked Daniel to lend him £8. £8, Daniel say. What do you think money growing on tree? I will give it back to you tomorrow. Cap say, making a sign of the cross with his forefingers and kissing it as he see the West Indian boys do. Daniel hesitated a little, but he wanted to impress the French girl. Now he is a fella that does take them women to Covent Garden and Festival Hall, and them girl does have a big times in them places, for all they're accustomed to is a pint of mild, the old fish and chips, and the 1 and 6 local. Many times Daniel go round by Moses, saying how he takes so-and-so to see ballet, and Moses tells them that them girls won't appreciate those things. I want them to feel good that we coloured fellas could take them to these places, Daniel say, and we could appreciate even if they can't. You spending your money bad, Moses say. Them girls ain't worth it. But Daniel does feel good when he does things like that. It gives him a big kick to know that one of the boys could take white girls to them places to listen to classics and see artistic ballet. You don't treat your women right, he told Moses. As long as you could get them in a yard you satisfy, you don't spend no money on them. Why I must spend my money on them frowsy women, Moses say. So with Frenchie sitting there and Cap giving the impression that any time Daniel want a little thing with she, it would be all right, he fork over the money. Upon that, Cat went out and hailed a taxi and take the girl away to a 7 guinea room in a hotel. And so Cap started the married life. He had to shift out of the hotel when the week was up, but the French girl was getting money from France every week, and they live on that for a long time. Every time she asked him when they're going to Nigeria, Cap said he waiting on some papers from the Nigerian embassy. Meanwhile, the Austrian heard that Cap have another girl, but she didn't know it was so serious. When she found out, she went by Moses to moan, but he tells she to go to hell because he did warn her about Cap. Kept carrying on the same sort of life like when he was single. He there with a French girl in the night, and when she fall asleep, he putting on clothes and going out to hustle just as he used to do before he get married. It don't make no difference to him at all. Eventually, Frenchie had to get her work in a store, and nothing pleased him better. He's sleeping all day while she out working and going out in the night. He makes you buy a radiogram, and he gets some of the latest bot records to keep him company. And now and again, he having a little party in the room. He had a way. Every time Moses have a girl visit her, he dropping in and won't leave at all, sitting down there on the bed as if he waited for Moses to give him a share. This thing happens so often that Moses get damn vexed. One evening, when a girl was there, the bell rang and Moses went and opened the door. From the moment he see Cap, he start to get on ignorant. Get out, get the hell out, man, he say, and he pushed Cap in the road and shut the door. Still, the captain living. Day after day you will see him, doing nothing, having nothing, owing everybody, and yet he there with his innocent face, living on, smoking Benson and Hedges when things good, doing without a smoke when things bad. Who in this world would think that work necessary? Who say that a man must have 2 pairs of shoes, or 2 trousers, or 2 jackets? Cat with woman left and right, he have a way. He does pick up something and take it home, and when he finish and she asks for money, throw she out on the streets. He have a way. He will budge any girl who we see going around with one of the boys. Yet day after day, Cap's still alive, defying all logic and reason and convention, living without working, smoking the best cigarettes, never without women. Sometimes you just have to start thinking all over again when you feel you have things down the right way. And I will stop there before it goes on to another character. Great, thanks for listening.